thank you so much for coming. Last video I asked for questions, and I'm very, very grateful for the questions that you all have asked, some of which I addressed just directly, and other ones I'll address here to the group. Let's start with the first one. Thank you, Ananta. For several years, I've loved Ramana Maharshi and feel a connection to his teachings. I practice self-inquiry here and there, only for brief periods throughout the day. Whenever I do, I feel little moments of peace. But most of the time, I'm lost in the maya of the mind. Should I be more disciplined about practicing self-inquiry daily for longer periods of time of intentional sitting down? Yeah. I butchered it a bit, but that's basically what it says. Anyway, I want you to think about that. You feel this connection with Ramana Maharshi, and that's sacred, you see. So, like, whenever I was with my gurus, I had the intuitive sense that they could see right through me, that they could see everything, and that in spite of that, they loved me unconditionally. Yeah. And now that was very special, you see. And what I want you to look at when you think about Ramana Maharshi is where you actually connect. Because it's a place that's very, very deep. And truly it's beyond words, you see. And I want you, as much as possible, when you have a guru, you need to respect that. So make sure you have a nice picture of Ramana that you keep in a predominant place in your house so that you see it, you see. And when you see it, take the moment to be in that space where there is that oneness, that total connection, you see. That'll tell you what to do. And it will also keep you connected, you see. His teachings are his teachings. Self-inquiry is a really important thing. I always felt it didn't matter what you knew in the world, how learned you were. You could be a professor of anything. It just didn't matter how much you knew if you don't know who you are. So it seems important. Now, the discipline, that comes as it comes, you see. But your devotion to that connection with Ramana will bring on what needs to happen. So you do that intentionally all the time, every day, you see, more and more. Now, you see, when I first met Baba, he made such an impression on me. And I did all this stuff instinctually. So I had this actual same picture that's there now. It was on his book, Play of Consciousness. And I put that book on a small book easel, and I put it up on my bookshelf. And gradually, that picture became the center of my room. And I would spend time with it all the time. I would see that picture all the time. And more, I had this relationship with Baba that was like how you would have, when you fall in love with someone and you just start thinking about them all the time. And they're just, and you see like that. And I just assumed this is what happened when people met. That's how it worked. And the person who actually told me about Baba, I had seen her, and she had also been to see Baba. And I said to her, I said, "Don't you think about him all the time?" And she said, "No, not really." It never occurred to me that anyone could meet him and not be just totally absorbed with that. So that was my experience. But since you have this attraction with Ramana and with his basic teaching, you see, how you get there, the practices you do, depends on your personality, what suits you, you see. Now, someone like Ramesh's guru, Nisargadatta, who wrote I Am That, he met his guru and got the basic teaching, very similar to Ramana. And what he had his own life. He had a family, and he had his business and stuff. But he would have some time here and there, just where he didn't have to do that, take care of business or take care of the family. And during all those moments, he devoted himself to the reality that his guru was teaching, that, all of this is a dream, that, you see, those basic teachings that resonate with you, and he sat with them, and that's all he would think about. And for him, you see, the progress was very quick because of that level of devotion. It just depends. It depends, if you're comfortable with the level of suffering that you live with all the time, fine. If you're craving more of a sense of peace in your life, then here it is. The guru has cleared the path for you and is just pointing the way. And all you need to do is follow that path. He's already done the work, you see. So, yes, ultimately, there comes a time where you make a decision. For me, I had spent 20 years remembering and forgetting, being with my gurus, remembering what they were talking about, getting totally involved with that. And then I had to come home, make some money, so I'd go back to India. And during that time, I'd be forgetting. And I'd say to my friend, "Oh, I think I need a booster shot." You see? So then I'd go back to India for another half year or so. And so there was this process of remembering and forgetting, remembering and forgetting. And finally, I made a solemn commitment not to forget. But it was a solemn commitment. But it did take 20 years. But I always did have what I called my spiritual priority. You see, that was the priority. The rest of the stuff I did need to take care of, but the spiritual priority always won out. In the end, I wasn't, involved in raising a family and buying a house and all that stuff. I took all the money that I made and I went to India and hung out with these guys. You see, there was always a priority. I took care of a few other things along the way, but the spiritual priority always won out. So you can see how it develops in your case. And you can also see when you get into the Maya of the mind, that level of suffering that is there. And ask yourself, is that where you want to live? I hope that helps. We'll see what happens. And by all means, keep in touch. And for any of you who have questions, please, I read all the comments, so just throw them in there, and we'll see. So let me see. Now, this one was a little bit more wordy. I've got one. For me, seeing self as not exists doesn't do much for me. The reason I feel that self clings to me rather than I cling to it, it may sound strange, but it's really common. I think, for example, experiencing anxiety feels like you're being grabbed or grasped by a force that is stronger than you. So, in that sense, self or experience grabs you, or even just self-grabs, period. So my question is, how can I break free from the grab? Okay. Understand that all this is part of the dream. All of it. The you who wants to break free, the you who gets grabbed, it's all just part of the dream. It's all just part of the character. You see? None of it is real. None of it matters. It's just a drama that's being played out. So, my advice is simply watch how it works. Watch how the drama works. Now, the thing about it is, it grabs you. What it does is it gets your attention, and you get involved. You get involved. You see, so like Ramesh said, the difference between a yogi and a bogey being a normal person, a yogi being a spiritual person. Now, in a bogey, a thought arises and it's pursued. In a yogi, that same exact thought arises, but it's not pursued. You see? The pursuit is the grab. So watch how that works in your life. Watch how you get involved with your thoughts or emotions. Watch how you dive into it and own it and think that that's you. When it's you, it's important. And you lose yourself in that dream. Watch it. Watch how it works. Understand that all of it is the mind. All of it. It's not like there's a you that's not part of the mind, that's above it all. It's all part of the same structure. You see, it's like you have the good ego and the bad ego. You have the ego that gets you into trouble, and you have the ego that keeps you out of trouble. It's just the play. It's the play of consciousness. It's this sense of going somewhere and that this is you. None of it is you. None of it is you. You have these dreams at night. You think that's you, but none of it is you. So watch how the grab works. Watch how you get involved with your thought. You see, when you catch it, and you go, oh, look, I'm involved. That's involvement. Usually it passes because it's been seen. It's only when you blindly do this stuff you get trapped. So notice the involvement when it arises. Don't try and stop it, just notice it. Just see it for what it is. It's just involvement. We have one more that I'll cover today. And let's see. And fortunately, this one's short. Hi, Ananta. If it's all a dream, similar to the dreams we have at night, does that mean there is no value, including these questions and answers about these subjects? Correct. Correct. Oh, when I was with Ramesh, it's early days, it was just he and I. And it wasn't people who paid to see him or that he was giving a seminar or anything like that. It was just he and I chatting. I would ask him a question sometimes and be like basically a stupid question. And Ramesh would just go, he'd look at me and go, "Who wants to know?" You see? So I learned to ask deeper questions. So, when it comes to value and meaning to whom? That's all to a person. That's important to a person. You're not a person. You see, value and meaning, all of that would not arise. You see? So, that sense of being before becoming someone, just that sense of being is what you want to remember. And that sense of being someone, well, that's where all the trouble is. That's where all the problems are. So don't let yourself be totally involved with yourself as a person. You're not a person. You are that essence that is everything. Baba had a very simple way of putting this. All he said was, God dwells within you as you. Worship and bow to your own inner self. That essence of everything is within you always. And you go about your life and you forget. You get involved in all this and that and how you're feeling and what you're thinking and what you're doing, thinking that is you. And then you forget. So, it's a good time to remember. Yeah. It's always a good time to remember. Nisargadatta Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you so much for your questions. Keep them coming, and then these talks will keep coming. Till then.